Georgia Titcomb, Hickory, North Carolina, USA.
I'm Emily Bridger from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
I'm Siobhan Namazi from Long Island, New York, USA.
I'm Mary Beards from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, USA.
I'm Noelle Mastrangelo. I'm from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, USA. It's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
this is more than we could have ever hoped for.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
I think it would have definitely been a different experience if we stayed in Ocean View with a host family. And not saying that one would have been better than the other, but I think there are certain things about this situation that have just been so great. Just the fact that we were able to walk around to just, because we were still able to talk to the locals in Comickey and just kind of walk to the local pub, walk to the local shops, and just kind of, get to know the culture in that way. So I don't think that we missed out on some certain things, but I do agree that it would be definitely a different situation if we stayed in Ocean View.
I think that culturally it would have been a really interesting way of saying if you were in Ocean View because, but only after we started teaching. I feel like I wouldn't have been comfortable living there without having like a set purpose. But if I'd been teaching there, I would have done it. But also, I absolutely love staying in Comickey naturally, and with these guys too. It was great, and just having other volunteers to talk to about issues about teaching, to like bounce ideas off of, to like come up with ideas for projects, like having other people to involve in those conversations is really beneficial.
I think a huge part about being in South Africa is seeing the disparity between sort of the first world and third world. So I think being able to, live in Ocean View and possibly live in Comickey would be a really neat experience too.
Yeah, right.
Like, I would have loved to have lived in Ocean View, but at the same time, being a woman, it's hard. When I walk down the street in Ocean View, I get a lot of really negative attention, and I don't know how I would have coped with that if that was like that every day for 8 weeks. It would have been really difficult.
Well,
I don't think so.
I don't think I would either. I look at situations like, for example, Reggie, who lived in Ocean View, and when we went there for the Brian, I was extremely kind of like, not jealous, but I just loved the atmosphere, and I was like, oh, this would have been really nice to like live here. But at the same time, I feel like we've been so fortunate to live in Comickey.
Definitely, yeah. I really didn't know what to expect, but I didn't have, it was better than I ever could have imagined or dreamed, and it was really fulfilling and very beneficial experience for me.
I think it surpassed my expectations. Being a development student over the past few years, I've definitely lost my faith in the NGO process, and coming here actually restored it. I didn't think I would get to be as productive as I was when I was here.
I have to agree, like, with Georgia, like, I had no expectations, really, or idea of what I was going to be doing here, and it's just, I just was completely just floored by the culture and what I've learned and the people that I've met, the people that I've worked with, the kids that I've worked with. It's been an experience that I'm never going to forget.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really have much expectation of what I was going to be doing, but it blew me away. It's like I'll forever remember it, and because of this trip, so much has changed about me. Like I feel like I'm a better person because of this.
I think that also you, Peter, and Allison have been such a critical component for me, that you were able to show us around, and you have such an inside with everyone in the townships, and you two have really made this a wonderful experience too. So, and I never would have expected that. Like you're just a family that is able to just make me feel right at home, and so I think that was.
Yeah. I didn't feel much like a visitor. I kind of felt part of like a big family, and like it was great.
I think I did in Ocean View. At Massey, I don't feel like I bonded with any of the kids enough to make a mark. No, if
I found the language to be an issue just in terms of bonding with people our age, because I feel like conversations with others is, an integral part of creating that relationship. And when we were at the library, they'd be talking to each other in another conversation, and in another language, and that means that we couldn't tell like what their interests were. And they also struggled to express their interests in English to us. And, in order to have that conversation with them, we had to initiate conversation, which was difficult and challenging. Whereas at Ocean View, I feel like, I had a lot more of a bond to my students, even though they were much younger.
I agree. I definitely feel as though I made more of an impact in Ocean View. And at the same time, I think I realized that if you stay for longer, you can really make an impact. And that's been the big thing for me, is just knowing that you can make an impact.
I would have hands down loved to teach in Ocean View for a year.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, I just loved everything about it. And I did bond with a lot of the girls in Massey as well. And I at least felt on my part that I formed a relationship with them, but I'm not sure, like, just again with the language and the cult, like, I'm not sure if it was on their part.
I mean, I love Massey. I love the community. I love walking down the streets in Massey.
I did too.
Yeah. And I think you could still get some exposure to the community.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
do, like, go to weekend events at the library.
Okay.
or-
Yeah.
Or possibly if you were to do like more time in Ocean View, but every day of the week, one day of the week you go to Massey, and like something of that nature, or some like community events like with Massey, or like volunteering, like that could be like the after school volunteering
Yeah.
with Massey. So like after I go and teach in Ocean View, okay, now it's time to go to Massey and do like our weekly volunteering thing that we do with the learners.
Absolutely. Well, I've learned a lot about getting things done and projects and that nature. Going into Ocean View, I realized that in order to be effective in the classroom, I needed to develop a really good relationship with my teacher and to have the conversations with her and get to know how the class was run, and to develop trust with her, and then also to get to know like the people in like power at the school, so that I wanted to do a mural, and in order to do that I had to make the phone calls, I had to like make the connections and talk to people and develop the relationships, and then create a plan myself and go and do it, because it's not gonna be laid out for me. Somebody can't tell me, okay, today you're going to be doing a mural and this is the time when you got to do it. You got to do it for your, plan it out yourself and act on it.
I agree with that. Coming here, I just wanted to be as proactive as possible. So I think that, this experience has taught me to like how to do that and how to initiate that, and just go up to the principals and just talk to them and say, how can I be useful? And I think that has helped me a lot. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's definitely made me more committed than ever to my career goals. And I know more than ever that this is the country I want to study. This is the country I probably want to live in.
I would agree with everybody about the commitment and kind of making your own work. And in addition, I just like, as far as like the culture of the like country, like I was kind of confused when I first got to South Africa. And I don't know much, like Emily knows a lot about the history and the political, and I didn't know as much about it. And I feel like I just really developed a big sense of what this country is, and like different sects of like people in this country, and just like what South Africa means to them, like what it means to me. And it's just been a really eye-opening experience for me, and I'm taking a lot of that back with me.
Yeah, I agree with all that, and I've also learned to, it's so stereotypical, but not judge a book by its cover, especially with younger kids. Some of them would act out and all this stuff, and then you find out their stories, like why there's a reason for the way they're acting. So I've like developed a sense of like understanding and patience with children.
Yeah. I've also realized just like the power of like just being there for a child really makes such a difference. Just even listening to what a child has to say is often something that's not normal for them, and just even like a helping hand or like a positive comment really goes a long way.
Yeah. The first day at Massey, when Nico said, I think it was like the first day, he said, it's just your presence, just us being there, our smiles, and that's just so important, I think. And I think that they did just appreciate our presence and just being with them and hanging out. So
I think that it had more to do with just our personalities and
I agree.
100% agree.
rather than our ages and our professions and where we're at in our lives. The division that happened within the group, I don't think was based on the fact that half of us are teachers and half of us are college students.
It was also based on like where we were living and like our environments and personalities and relationships.
Yeah, when you come on one of a type of trip like this, flexibility is key. Just being flexible and
I think
being
and I
open
think,
to new experiences.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think you can create a formula based off.
The most important thing that I realize is you just can't be stuck in your own ways. You really have to be open-minded and like Noelle said, flexibility. You can't really expect things to go exactly as you want them. You kind of have to adapt to your surroundings and adapt to your environment. Not everything is the same as you're used to, and that might be a thing with teachers because they are very stuck in their ways and used to a schedule and a strict, But if you in your personality you have the ability to adapt, I see no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also be proactive.
Mm-hmm. And also just adjusting to the whole Africa time thing. You can't get frustrated. And you can't expect to live the same life you live back home in North America. Things are naturally going to be different here. And I know you can't judge based on an application whether someone is able to go with the flow or not, but I think it's a really important quality to have.
Yeah.
I think it's just the kids in Ocean View.
Mm-hmm.
My last
I
day
love
of
those
school.
kids
Yeah,
so
the
much.
last day. The kids dressing up and like performing. It was just so touching. Like it was just like the little moments.
Yeah.
Like I got to play Duck Duck Goose in my grade hours, and it was so much fun to play Duck Duck Goose with them. Like it's just like those little moments that were like
My
the best.
favorite moment was probably painting the mural and there being just like looking, to the side and seeing, okay, there's some of the volunteers painting, there's some of the teachers painting, and who, they just came and picked up paintbrush. There was like janitors, like the mechanic guys were painting and children painting, and there was like everyone together, and
It was very fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
I was
being a
really
part of that.
grateful that happened.
My last day, one of the students I tutored, he was kind of like a bigger, tough kid, and he just started crying when I was leaving, and he was just like, "I'm really, really gonna miss you," and like that to me was just like so incredible that I was able to form this bond with someone in such a short amount of time. So yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
especially after hearing about some of the other programs and just I feel like this really has just benefited us and in turn the community in such a.
I mean, me and Noelle were talking this morning. We don't feel as though this is just like a 2-month program. Being here, it's felt right. Like it's felt like this is our lives and this is what we do every day. We wake up and we go to Ocean View and we work with the kids, and then we get to come back to Kamaki and run up mountains. And go swimming in the
Everything
ocean.
just made so much sense
It just-
about
it just
being
fit.
here.
Yeah. I would tell people I live in Kamaki. I work at Ocean View.
I don't think any of us want to leave.
My Facebook says I live in Kamaki.
Yeah, mine does too.
Yeah.
Very much.
I
Definitely.
never felt
Never
unsafe,
felt.
not once walking down the street in Massey
No.
or here.
I think most of us have also said that we felt more unsafe in our own cities. At home.
I have.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
It was definitely a concern of mine because I know so many kids who come just to Africa. They pay $6,000, $7,000 for something to put on their resume. It's a way to get into medical school. It's a way to get into law school. And I was concerned about that. And when I saw World Teach, I thought maybe it was pricey. But now that I'm here and I saw what we got, I think, we should have paid more. I can't believe, we've been eating like kings. We live in this beautiful, beautiful house. The excursions we've gotten, the transportation, everything. And then meeting other volunteers at school who pay maybe twice as much as what we've paid for half the amount of stay, and they don't get transportation, they don't get food, they don't have any sort of support network like we have. I really, really think that we definitely got more than what we paid for.
I agree.
Yeah.
You basically
Yeah,
got
just
everything.
thank you for everything.
Well, I
I'm
can
gonna
never
start to
thank you
cry.
enough.
Yeah.
I just feel
Don't cry
I feel like I'm moving away. I feel like I'm leaving
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And it's just been so amazing. So thank you so much for making it
Yeah.
happen.
I just want to keep talking so we don't have to.
We love the
stop
Rainbow
camera.
Nation.
Yeah. Say goodbye.